Today we're going outside to do a little experiment in meditation and art. For many, art and meditation sort of go hand in hand, and there is an aspect to making art that can be very meditative. So that's why you have things like art therapy, and you have the mandala drawings, and you have all these little coloring books that people do to get that peace of mind. But when you're working seriously on your art, whether that be in a professional capacity or if that's just, working seriously at improving your art, your craft, then this meditative space sort of goes away. We become obsessed with getting it right. And yes, when we get together, we talk about these elusive flow states when the art just comes by itself. But those are few and far between. For the most part, we are really judgmental when it comes to how we produce our art, and being judgmental is sort of the opposite of being in a meditative state. There's a few different approaches to meditation, and they all relate to art in different ways. So you can have the free drawing exercises, which are very open, and you can, on the other hand, have things like drawing mandalas or doing these coloring books or just coloring whatever you're working on, which is very focused on following a set pattern. What I thought I'd do today is a drawing from a landscape, which is both very focused on getting the relations between the art and the landscape, and also very open to anything that happens during the process. So, I'm here at beautiful Nordgårdsfjellet, just a 45 minutes hike from where I live, which is down there somewhere. And I thought I'd do a little oil painting and try to work on some mindfulness exercises while painting. And we'll see how it goes. Okay? Mindfulness is not so much about clearing your thoughts as it's about just being and accepting whatever happens. So, in that spirit, I try to center myself around my breath and then lay out the palette and do all those little decisions I have to do in a calm and non-judgmental way before applying the first brushstrokes to the canvas. And the very instant that the brush hits the canvas, my instinct is to go all judgmental and scream like this has to be this way or this has to be that way. And that's okay, that's natural. But whenever I feel these thoughts approaching, instead of following them and expanding on them, I try to just acknowledge them and then focus back on the breath. And you have to make judgments while landscape painting. You have to judge color and value and distance and texture and brush strokes and how it all compares to what you're seeing out there in the world. But there is a difference between being judgmental about these things and just noticing these things. There's a difference between living in the future, trying to plan the perfect picture, and just being in the moment, trying to plant each brush stroke exactly where it needs to be. Okay, so now I'm finished with today's painting, and we still have a beautiful view. And usually when doing plein air painting, it's easy to feel exhausted because even if it's a short while, like this took about an hour or so, uh, you're using an intense form of concentration, and it's hard on your brain. But right now, I'm actually feeling refreshed. I know I've been through something intense, but I feel kind of good, kind of refreshed. And I guess that has to do with painting in a mindful and non-judgmental way. Being there, seeing the values, seeing the distances, seeing the strokes, seeing, but not judging. Is it good? Is it bad? It just is. And instead of wrangling a painting into existence, I'm here with a painting that I just let be. And the idea isn't really to do the definitive guide to art and meditation, or to improve your art with meditation in just 1 hour. It's just to show a little way in which you can enjoy being there with your art for an hour.